Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special night we have for you. Oh my goodness. We're back again. It's your boy Gurf on the desk, and we have the draft night. It is time to figure out where these players we saw Monday and Tuesday nights to see what teams are entering, what teams are going to be picking up those strong players and looking to forge themselves a strong path in this early start of the season. It's going to be starting soon. Captains are readying up on their end to make sure things are ready to go. But tonight, I have a very special guest because they are going to be my fellow caster for Friday night as well, too. Same Page is joining me on the desk tonight to help me out with this draft, and I am super excited. How are you feeling tonight, Same Page?
Doing pretty well. Was just getting myself ready with all the potential picks coming out today. I'm really excited to see what kind of mashups and some team synergies we can work out for today, and what kind of maybe a little bit of a captain insight of what really is looking, or what they're really looking, and maybe potentially some backbones for some potential teams.
Yeah, and this is honestly has become one of my favorite Legends Esports night because it's just so exciting to see how some of these captains are thinking, all the work that is being done behind the scenes for this draft. You know, what happens if a player's picked up that a captain's been looking at. So it's really exciting to see where this is going to go. I don't want to hold up the captains too long, so let's flip on over to what this first draft is going to look like. Guys, just a rundown for tonight. Right now, we are about to do the LAS draft. After that, we're going to take a break. We're going to do another raffle giveaway. And then when we come back from our break, we're going to be doing the LRS draft. So, guys, you do not want to miss that. And my goodness, I'm loving all the love in chat, guys. So let's flip on over. Let's see how this draft is going to go down, my friends. So we got a big LAS league here, and there's a lot of players coming through. So this draft is going to be consisting of 48 players, this first set here. So we're going to give the captains the ready up from us. And then Sim Page and I are going to run you through who's picking, what these players are coming up, and all that other little extra goody information that you only get here at Legends Esports. Am I right, Sim Page?
Of course. I actually, just while we're waiting for the captains to get going and ready to pick up their stuff, I have a question for you. What are some really hit names that you're really looking forward to see?
Well, with and you and I were kind of having a talk about this before. There's a lot of new players in this league, and that's really exciting to see because it's just this unknown talent that's coming in that we have no idea what to expect yet. I mean, we can kind of gauge based on previous games and champions played, but it's kind of exciting to see all these new names. But there are some veterans that we have seen played before, and it's going to be really exciting to see players like Given, Hero 39. Flip Trick is actually one of the captains, so he won't be being drafted. He is doing the drafting, but we've got DeFly, OG Shisha, aka Overcomer. So very curious to see where some of these players that have been around for a while are going to end up. Obviously, a lot of these guys have been playing with each other for multiple splits at this point, so we might see that as well too, going for the comfortable picks, going for something that you're familiar with, that playstyle, and that's never a bad option for these captains.
Definitely not. I've seen a couple of these players really show their spirit and really give themselves shine. Somebody like DeFly is very good if you needed some type of anchor to pull out ahead in something like his Jinx, maybe his Jhin. He also has his coveted Draven. You can look over to the mid lane and see some very prominent picks. I've seen Oath do very well with himself, as well as I've seen somebody like Kumi a little bit. I've poked my head around and really have a prominent spot of looking what he needs to do in a game. Is there anybody in your eye that you've been poking around and bringing your nose to?
I mean, we just saw the first pick actually come through for the Wolves. That's going to be the captain Dallas actually picking up DeFly here as the very first pick here in the LAS draft, and no surprise to me.
It's no surprise to me either. Deathfly has been very, very, very strong in his current setup. He needs a very, very strong support, maybe a little bit of for the aggressive side, especially of how he's played. But he's not afraid to play a little bit of a weak side. He can play somebody like a scaling champion like Twitch, or maybe a little bit like Jinx, to really show his true skill in his micro. He may need a little bit of a push, especially in circa matchups or circa like specific type of champion interactions. Like if he chose something like a Twitch and he sees something like a very aggressive lane, like give a random example, a good like Ash Seraphine has a really heavy poke comp. He might need a little bit of a push from the jungler's position to really get him accelerated forward, but otherwise he is a very, 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 very solid pick for the first take.
Absolutely. And coming up next, we have the Guardians. Their captain, Death Damage, former player from last split too. So that's nice seeing them kind of step up into that captain role now. And I am, again, curious to see what this Guardian squad is going to look like, because we saw them last split there kind of having a shaky early season, but there was just a shift at the halfway point, and by the playoffs this Guardian squad was looking so damn strong. So I'm really excited to see, carrying that name. I know it might be a group of new players, but to kind of be going off of that energy from last split to see what they do this time. Oh, and it looks, maybe we're getting teased a little bit here, but we do have the second pick of the night, and that is going to be Mako coming in as the Guardians' first pick.
I apologize. Give me 1 second.
But I believe Mako is another ADC as well too. Actually, you can see him top of the picks there. On our end here, we've got a little captain sheet here that we're watching as this draft goes on. But Paige, why don't you tell us a little bit about Mako?
For example, I apologize heavily for Gerf here. I do not see I don't have the actual captain sheet in front of me. But for Mako in particular, what I've at least seen a little bit from him is that he is another very, very strong AD carry in presence that can also play a very, very okay weak side, very strong in his mechanics as well.
But this is one of those new names that we haven't seen before. So again, that little that air of mystery, the unknown of what is to come, right? We can't really see how these players are going to be playing up until we really see them put together in a squad with their full team, and actually even on stream too, because that is a whole new angle to this too when you're actually on stream and have that pressure. But we might be actually having the next pick coming up soon, and this is going to be for the Dragons. Their captain excels, a veteran in our league here, has been around for quite some time here, but they are going to pick up JS Chaotic as their first pick of the night. Whoops, we got two JS Chaotics apparently on stream there. There we go. We're going to clean that up for you guys in 2 seconds, so don't you worry. We'll have a nice, fresh one up.
Of course. And for JS Chaotic, another AD carry player that has been bringing up a little bit of a more magic into the bot lane, especially somebody like a Jhin who's very prominent, some very meta AD carries like Misfortune, picking up a little bit of Callista, but not afraid to show a little bit of Swain. 2 in the bot lane, which predominantly is the highest win rate champion into the bot lane at this minute, but nevertheless very meta heavy. Nothing absolutely wrong with it at all, and he seems like, just based off of his OPGG alone, he's a very, very technical and very strong with his power picks like Lucian.
Very well explained. And now, you know what? We're moving this along fast, but the Bandits and their captain, God King Karthus, aka Dreamy, OG Dreamy,
Mhm.
has selected King Caterwall as their first selection here. So it seems, with those first few picks we saw, and even King as well, ADCs are the hot topic tonight. They are just being picked left and right now. And I mean,
I
go
I
ahead. Go
think
ahead.
it's actually I think it's just an okay thing. Picking a very very capable AD carry, especially how strong AD carries can be in a competitive environment, is a very very important aspect. And I'm not surprised at all that the AD carries are actually getting taken by the captains very very early on, because if you have a weak AD carry, it's very difficult for them to get into a position where if they need to be, they have to carry.
And this is just looking. I'm just love being back into the draft mode again, because now with all that exhibition match, it was kind of that again that
Sure.
that unknown that was hanging over the player's head. But I'm sure for all of us, this is gonna do and help with a little bit more comfortability knowing what you're going into next
Mm-hmm.
week, because these games are going to be starting Monday. So it's always interesting to see what players are getting that synergy going and getting that popping off in the early season. But that doesn't mean necessarily, we have 9 whole weeks, right? And
Definitely.
I have seen time and time again massive growth from individual players and teams, aside. So it's
Mm-hmm.
just a really incredible thing to see this all. It's all coming together, same page.
Oh man, I think just looking a little bit more while we're waiting for the next pick up. I think King Kettlewell has some very promising picks. Necessarily not a straight casual AD carry player,
Mm.
or AD carry rather, but he has some diversity with him. He has some mid lane prominence, stuff like that. So maybe he can bring some nice, interesting mages into the bot lane, which is potential. Otherwise, he can blow something like coming in from his OP.GG, coming in with Ezreal, Jin, which is also very prominent, and maybe even a little bit of a Yasuo flavor if you really want to bring in some Alistar support mans, or nevertheless anything that has some heavy knockups.
We do have the 5th pick of the night here for the Eagles from their captain. Flip Trick will be Kalua Zolduk, and this is actually interesting because Kalua and Flip are on a pre-made team together as well too. So this is a smart pickup for Flip, already having that comfortability with Kalua on another team. Just so happens that's my team that we're on together. So
Well, then, if you don't mind me asking, what is
mhm.
some really, really, really promising picks coming in with Kahlua, especially that you have so much prominence with him?
Oh my goodness. So Kalua has a nice range of champions, which is really good for any 5-man situations.
Mm-hmm.
What I've seen from Kalua is more moving towards those heavy hitting AP burst mages, and he's an absolute monster on his Syndra. And the Seraphine has yet to make it out for us, but I have seen what he has done on a couple replays, and it's pretty insane. But he also has the ability to go on tankier champions like the Galio, which can just, in 5-mans, when you are able to pair that up with your team and have that communication going, that's really great stuff to have.
Oh, for sure. I completely agree.
But
And
I believe we have our next pick coming up, and this is for the
sure.
Sharks from their captain, Chai T. And this pick will be Banana Bread XD. What a great name. Love that name.
Oh my god.
Absolutely
Apologies.
amazing. You know what? And that's true. We're going to see a couple names tonight that I'm sure you guys will get a nice kick out of this. But Banana Bread is the top support listed there. So
Just coming in for the support at least, especially that I'm having difficulties, so I do apologize. He is a very, very, very strong, at least during this season in total, very, very, very strong support. Can play something super tanking it, like set support, very aggressive, maybe a little rel. He's very much into that engage category with Thresh and Nautilus, but he can also sit back with a little bit of poke, with some maybe Imperial Mandate Nami, a little bit Seraphine with some Moonlight as well. But he's not not afraid to show his face for sure. He has his picks like Rakan, for example, that is very, very strong, going with Ignite, going all into situations and team fights that he's known, or at least in solo queue, known to really show his face and really bring forth some type of energy to accelerate its team fight potential.
Awesome stuff. And we've got another pick coming up here as well too, from the Crusaders, and their captain Softworm666 will be Tainted Red 96. That's a lot of sixes going on there, but maybe that's just why he picked him.
Exactly. Another support player, again, like we were saying a little bit before, very, very, very much you have some type of an anchor. At least in the bot lane, it could play weak side, it could be strong side, but something that they can support themselves with. He seems like he's been playing a little bit of Rel recently, but in previous seasons he's been playing something like Leona, Pike, a little bit of an enchanter with Lulu, Janna, Soraka, and a little bit of Morgana as well, but not afraid to play his coveted Lux into the support.
Ooh, that's a strong pick, but we are gonna keep on moving on with our draft, and that is gonna be for the Panthers from their captain Wolven Alchemist and Grotus as our 8th pick of the night here coming in.
For Grotus, do you mind telling me what kind of position he's playing? Because I do apologize.
And Grotus gonna look for their symbol there. That is a jungler, our first jungler of the night being picked up, actually.
First jungler, wow, to think about it. I'm sorry, I completely apologize there. For Grotus in particular, but not afraid of showing a little bit in something like his his Lilia as well, coming in from his previous seasons. You can look at him and playing a very aggressive style with something like Xin Zhao, his Nocturne, but not afraid of taking some tanks in the jungle. Like he's played Maokai jungle before as well, which is a very, very interesting way to play the game for sure.
Well, we got this ball on the roll right now. I'm seeing from chat just to put up the positions. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm able to quite do that right now, so we're going to keep announcing positions of these players as they're coming. So make sure to keep an ear out for that. I do apologize about not having that on this stream right now, but doing my best over here, fellas. But
completely apologize.
But no, it's kind of going back to that what you were saying about supports, just having a nice anchor on your team to know, there's somebody there, solid, reliable, and consistent. That is a big part of these games, is just having that consistency and knowing what to expect from a player from game to game.
Exactly. Even consistency isn't everything. Of course, you should always have somebody that is even though it may be a little bit of a rude term, but somebody that's very coin flippy is not a problem as long as you have some consistent backlines that you can rely on. For example, you could bring in somebody like, I would say something maybe like Palter, or in the top lane, Artronic Palter, I think that's how you say it. Who's a Riven player through and through, and not afraid to play super aggressive top laners to really push his lead. It's nothing wrong with that as long as you have at least a consistent bot side, or even the reverse, having something like a jungle mid synergy that has been strong through and through. You can have something a little bit more of a either hyper carry or somebody who can be very, very weak if not played around properly. It's nothing wrong to have.
And that you just heard right now, guys, our 9th pick of the night, Archaic Pelter for the Falcons here, and their captain, Alpha Sairu. I hope I'm saying that correctly, but big pickup here. Again, nice to have.
Riven monster and a lot of AP threats.
That's going to be really fun to watch, having a Riven monster in this league. So definitely a team to look out for. Watch out for our Carrick Palter. But next up for the Wizards, their first pick of the night from their captain, Perma YT, is gonna be Oath.
Oath. Very, 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 very good mid laner of what I've seen, of what I've faced, or at least seen a little. Maybe I could be hyping up a little bit, but somebody like Noah could be a little bit happy because he's been playing a lot of Caston lately, and also he's has some very, very, very interesting picks like Xerath, Silas in the mid lane, maybe a little bit of Yasuo if you want to play with that a little bit. Very entertaining to watch once he gets ahead. But he's also seen to play something like Orianna Syndra as well, which it can be very, very consistent, and if in the right position can be team fight, like a change of team fight right as the fight happens, I should say.
And our first pick for the Gators from their captain, Gigglequeef, yes, you heard that name correctly, the captain of the Gators, Gigglequeef, has selected Turnips. I love it.
Yay!
All right, make sure to check those turnips. Make sure those stonks are high because Gators have just cashed in on a lovely, lovely top laner for themselves.
Man, the turnips. Apologies, I'm trying to find them in my notes. But do you have any recollection with them?
No, this is a new player as well to the league, so going to be a brand new face on the Rift. Looking forward to see them make their debut into the Legends Esports community. But these captains, oh, they're moving fast. They're moving really fast because we got ourselves our next pick as well too, and our 12th pick of the night from our last team here, the Nocturnals, Captain Beanie, getting that double select because we are on the back of this, the back end of this draft. We are getting that double pick for the Nocturnals because they're last. So, as their first and second pick, we're gonna get these up on stream for you guys. Will be EAG, Tantabus, and Devil's Alter Ego. Let's get those up on the screen for you guys in 2 seconds.
For sure.
Boom.
For Devil's Alter Ego in specific, going over, he's definitely a very, very hyper aggressive AD carry. Plays something like Samira, Vayne, Lucian. Very prominently, he can step back a little bit if need to, but still lane dominant with something like Ashe, Xayah, who can really poke out their opponents before going all in, maybe with the Chanting Crystal Arrow coming from the Ashe, or somebody like the Jhin setting up in the back line with his Curtain Call and his Deadly Flourish.
Yeah, going to be fun to watch these two players as they make their way onto the Nocturnals. Again, you know, a lot of new faces, a lot of new potential here, and I'm so excited to see these teams face off. I mean, don't get me wrong, regular season is going to be super spicy, but when we get to playoffs and get to see these teams, I know it's a long while away, but I'm just always reminded every playoffs of how awesome it is to watch these guys duke it out. But our next pick of the night will be, I hope I'm saying this right, for the Gators, Zeus coming in here. And that, I believe, Zeus is a... Let's go find him on the sheet. A mid laner for tonight. Okay.
He has a wide range of picks, and it's notable would be Syndra, but he also has utility picks, something like a Galio, some Lissandra, and provides a great utility to the team. And basically, yep.
Oh, might be losing you there. But what I'm picking up is that, you know, you have a nice, well-rounded player here, a nice deep pool, which can offer, you know, lots of flexibility when you're going into a team with players you might never have played with before. So nice having that flexibility available from their mid laner. But we have our next pick from the Wizards, and that is going to be one of our returning members. Legend is going to be picked up here tonight, and I believe
Legend XX.
Legend.
Legend X.
Legend X. Is a top laner.
Yes, sir. He is very notable for, at least in my opinion, his Yorick whenever he can get a pickup. Has a very, very aggressive playstyle, and he's very much of a lane dominant player. He can also have some backdrops on something like an Urgot, his Trinamir set volley, but he's not also afraid of playing some tanks, especially in last season predominantly with Shen. Ornn will always be good. Malphite's very, very good right now. And those are some very, very heavy team fight and swing momentum champions that can really accelerate his team.
And we have our next pick coming in for the Falcons. That's going to be the Kumai, and that's the way I'm going to pronounce it because we're not getting TOS tonight, boys.
Oh, no. The Kumai.
That is a mid laner.
Yes, the Kumai. I was just making sure I wanted to say it correctly so we don't get TOS here. He's very much of a Silas Azir player. And he really likes to play mid laners that have strong carry potential. Somebody, like I said, has very much of a essence of a swing team fight style with Azir with his ultimate, with Silas stealing his ultimate, and even something like Zed, who can be a very interesting last pick to change the tides and maybe pick off a key 80 carry that some of these other teams have been picking up.
And now we've got our next pick coming in from the Panthers. And this is also a returning player. Nairo, a support. Actually, third in the list there. So definitely a solid support. Super reliable with the picks they have shown us here on stream before. So I think that's just a fantastic pick here for Wolven Alchemist to pick up.
Always, and just to shed a little light on him as well, coming in from back in the day, he's been playing a lot of Thresh, Alistar, Braum recently, not afraid again to play some enchanters like Nami and Lulu. So very, very diverse overall, and being able to pick some champions that can be helpful in specific situations, especially in the future to come.
Next up from the Crusaders, we've got Temperament getting picked up for this team here. And just taking a look across the board where that Crusaders, that is an ADC locked in.
Carry. He's definitely a Vayne Twitch Jhin player. And he's looking really to scale most of the lanes with his picks, especially between Twitch and Vayne. And he can really take his mechanics to a fullest and go for those Space Glider plays and maybe go straight Gosu with his Vayne mechanics.
Well, I told you about great names tonight, same page, because the Sharks have just locked in Pig Boss Moo, and that is going to be their second pick of the night, their third player on the team, and that, I believe, is a jungler as well.
Yes, sir. He is definitely a through and through Graves main. He's hyper-aggressive, looking for picks and snowballing early, but he's not afraid to go in, invading the enemy team, and really set somebody behind if he's really trying to, or if the enemy jungler is really focused on a lane.
Now, I was going to say this, and I was going to guess it, but it popped up on the sheet before I could say it on stream. This player has been a veteran since season 1 of Legends Esports, before it was even Legends Esports, and now they have been picked up by the Eagles, their second pick of the night, and a top laner, the Scary Derry himself, Hero 39. This man is just super aggressive, knows how to play smart, and has one of the freakiest and nastiest Darius I have seen in my short 25 years. Same page.
And it's not only just his Darius as well, and he's definitely a bruiser player through and through. I've seen a little bit of his gameplay coming on with his Darius, which is scary enough, but I've also seen some Aatrox pop up recently. And he's definitely, I would say, an Aatrox monster.
Now I believe the second pick here coming in from the Bandits. One of the champ... Oh, they came close. The second place team from last split. It was a fight, a hard-fought series in that end, but they were still an incredibly strong team. But they have selected High Reef themselves, another veteran player coming in for this team tonight.
High Reef, I've seen him all over the place, but he's very diverse, a very diverse player. And especially recently, he's been going to the top lane. He definitely has some pocket picks, especially with Yone, but he's also just a straight bruiser player overall. He plays stuff like Mordekaiser, plays something like Darius, he plays something like Zed, he has a little bit of a tank background with something like Malphite, and other prominent tanks in the meta. A very, very interesting to see what he can do in the top lane.
And now for the Dragons' second pick tonight, the big axe diff in the mid himself, Axrid, coming through as the Dragons' second pick here. I mean, I've seen this player multiple times, and the axe diff is truly something real. Even chat is letting us know the axe diff is something that is true and tried before. His pool is pretty damn deep, and he can take one mistake and just really turn the entire lane around on your head. This player is just got a lot of skill hiding, and he knows when to show it.
Oh, definitely.
He knows when to show it. So, oh, very excited to watch this Dragon squad coming through.
Dragon Squad's looking a little scary, and I just want to touch on Axford just a little bit of just how strong a player he is. He loves his assassins, especially Diana and Akali, and he's always looking not only to capitalize on mistakes, but be a little flashy, you know? Make some really interesting flashy plays and really push himself to the edge.
And now coming in as the Guardians' next pick, a new face to this league is going to be XX Stewart's XX.
XF Stewards is through the jungle Vieman, at least that I can see, and he has a nice Rammus pocket pick. But he can also can't really, in my opinion, play supportive type of utility type of junglers in the team that I can see on paper, but it doesn't mean he can't show up later on the season.
Yep, and we're actually almost halfway through this draft. One more pick coming through from the Wolves before we flip on over to the second sheet. That's how many players we've got in our league this split, which is, it's just insane watching the numbers coming through. But it is Dallas's pick next time. Our lovely Dallas, who is our Discord wizard. He's just an absolute beauty. So I just a big shout out to Dallas for all the wonderful things he does behind the scenes here.
Definitely.
But let's see. We got the Wolves right now with Dallas and DeFly. I'm wondering what the next pickup is going to be, because I'm not too sure where Dallas is playing. He might be playing support, actually. So I want to see what the next call is for the Wolves squad here. And also this, we haven't seen the Wolves since Season 1 of Legends. So this is insane. And okay, thank you, Hitsu. Dallas is top. And Phil May. Oh, you guys are great. But that pick for the Wolves, that will be Charmed Reformed V4. Does concern me that there's a V4 and Reformed is in his name, but that just means he's a passionate and fiery player, ready to get the job done, ready to go in, and ready to give it his all.
Yo, reformed as he can be, reforming straight into the charm as an Ari main, so specifically in scenarios. He's not afraid to look for roams and be a lane dominant, very, very aggressive Ari player, and he's not afraid to pick control mages in the mid lane, and something like a Orianna or a Syndra is his main champions, I would say.
Mm-hmm. But with this, the Wolves do get a back-to-back pick, so we're going to be seeing another pick coming through from them as well very, very soon. So that's always, you know what, it might not be advantageous to, you know, like say for the Nocturnes in the first round to be picking last, but to get that double, that back-to-back, right? If these players know each other and have played with each other before, then why not pick a comfort pick? Some of these players who have that synergy already existing with each other. But the second pick here of this round here, or technically the third pick of the Wolves, is going to be Jar Jar. Telling you, these names are fantastic, but Let's see where Jar Jar is on our
Actually,
chart here.
Jar Jar is a support player, and he emphasizes on mage supports like Morgana, some Brand, some Xerath, and he's really much more of a poke-style support. But it doesn't mean he isn't going to be a nuisance, and that's going to be his strongest point coming into his support repertoire.
And that is a support that's a kindred spirit of mine, because that's very similar to that my personal playstyle. So I am all for it. But we've got our next pick coming up, and this is the third pick here for the Guardians team, and that will be Dreamfire 18.
So what I've seen from Dreamfire is he originally came from the support role, but it doesn't mean that he is going to be any less of a monster in the top lane. He can show some potential tanks, especially from his playstyle originally, and he can be a little bit more aggressive due to his supportive nature coming from Alistar. So he can really pick up something easily something like Pantheon, some Kled are some good options, something that can really come around, get some late prio, and really go for those rooms.
All right. Up next for the Dragons, and this is starting to look even scarier, almost a little reminiscent of an old Dragon squad, as Gayfinder Temple is picked up as the third pick for the Dragons squad. We see the little smile there from XL's in the chat, and I think he's very happy with how this draft is going for him, because these players, I believe, have all played with each other's on the Dragons before, so this is an excellent draft from XL's at this point.
That's so funny. I think personally, as someone who is a good friend of Gayfinder Temple and somebody who actually helped Gayfinder Temple to the top lane and really showed him how to at least initially get into the top lane, he's very versatile and he's very, very good at listening. But in anything you ask from him, he will do, and that's a very, very, very good trait to have.
I mean, I believe Juanito is in the LRS league. We'll be seeing them come up later, but that would have been the last pick there to kind of round that out. That'd be funny. Him or D-Cyclone as well too would have been the classic Dragons squad. So that's kind of funny to see them come out. And the next pick up here for the Bandits, no surprise to me, one of the most amazing Soraka players I have seen in my lifetime. Also a fellow caster here at Legends Esports. The big Raka, the big Shisha himself, OG Shisha, aka Overcomer, my boy, coming through as the third pick here on the Bandit squad. He's returning with his teammate Dream as well too from the previous split. And I mean, just the overall pool from this guy is absolutely fantastic. He's got a solid couple of tank picks like his Nautilus, his Leona, definitely up there. But recently, I mean, in the Wednesday night games, we saw him play his Soraka, and he was just an absolute menace. He was just making the enemy's lives absolute hell. Nobody could kill his teammates. So really good player to look out for. A solid veteran coming back into the league. So really nice to see OG Shisha making his way back home to the Bandits.
And maybe a little bit more, as he's, just like you were saying, his Nautilus, he also has a couple more hook champions in the back pocket. Maybe I'm not going to say a little bit more than that, but definitely keep an eye on this player.
Up next for the Eagles is going to be Juicy Chewy, and I saw chat showing up about this pick earlier on. Apparently a big name that might have passed by our eyes, but now that we're on it, this is a jungler pickup here for the Eagles.
He is an aggressive jungler, and maybe that's why he's so prominent into other people's eyes, is he's super aggressive, and he really likes to pick something like Smite Ignite on something like Graves, Rengar, Hecarim, Echo. He really likes to push himself onto the enemy team and says, you have to take me at face value and take me on head on.
And this is what's really great about the Eagles squad that we're seeing here, is that in the last round we saw Hero 39 picked up. That is also the top laner in this squad. So 3 members of this draft have gone through to the Eagles, already playing on a team. So the synergy between these 3 guys is going to be insane. But this aggressive style jungler is definitely something that suits these 3 players. They are known for, getting in the face of their enemies and really making themselves known. So that's really a really awesome pickup, and I think a great addition to this Eagles team.
definitely agree with you there.
But up next, we do have the Sharks looking to pick up their third pick of the night. We are it's crazy how many players we got going through. But chat, thank you guys for being so awesome so far and so patient with us on our end here. I hope you guys are having a fantastic time. Just a reminder that jerseys will be available coming soon, so make sure to be checking out the shop. You can use the command merch to check that out, and lots of great stuff in there, so make sure to go check that out. As these weeks come on, we will start seeing jerseys from these new teams. So if you're looking to support the squad and send us looking super fly in that merch channel of ours, make sure to hit that up. But
you know I'm going to be.
For the Sharks, we got another new player coming in as well too. And again, apologies if I'm saying these names incorrectly, but Orangey, I apologize for butchering your name, but can you tell me a little bit about Orangey? That is going to mess me up if I have to if I end up casting on a Monday night. Oh boy, I'm so sorry.
Oh, no. So for specifically for him, what I've been able to understand is he is a set god. Nothing else to say about it. He's played the majority of his games has been set. He has recently, in I think it's 16 games now, he already has a 77% win rate at the start of the season. He's shown in other seasons he's been playing majority set in every other role, including top lane. But he's not also afraid to play something like carry tops like Camille and Irelia. But also coming from his past seasons as well, he's been more of a team player, playing something like Gnar or Malphite. The general understanding of playing with the team.
Yep, and next up for the Crusaders, their third pick, a brand new player to this league with no previous affiliation whatsoever. It's 2 a.m. coming in as the second last pick here for the Crusaders squad.
For it's 2 a.m. I think he's he's more of, again, coming from that support role. But again, do not underestimate support players. He's also been picking up something like Fiora, Urgot, and Wukong, which has very different play styles, which can really shake up the enemy top laner, and especially in something like invades with his jungler. But he's also not afraid to play something like his Malphite, which is his main tank at the moment.
And yes, chat, I am aware that 2 a.m. is Shu, but you guys killed the joke. You guys just killed the joke. My God, absolutely took it and just throttled it and stuffed it in the ground. But I see how it is, herder. But yes, that is lovely. Our lovely.
Completely new.
Completely new. It's a new year. It's a new name. It's a new split. It's a new player. That's what we're going with this one. But up next, as the Panthers lock in their third player of the night, it's going to be Defoe coming through.
Completely apologize here.
Defoe, let's see where they are on our sheet here, as it's starting to get a little bit crowded here from my end.
Yes.
Defoe is a mid laner.
He is a mid laner, and for some reason I do not have him on my cheat sheet in my on my side, so I do completely apologize here. But just searching over to him, he is a he looks like he is a Nivea player, Malzahar player, and he also has been looking up some battle mages like Victor and some Vel'Koz as well.
Well, that's another pick to look out for, but the captains are moving fast because we got the next pick for the Falcons here. It's going to be SRC Blizzard Girl. Good little transition that you mentioned Anivia as one of Defoe's champs, but now we have someone with the name Blizzard Girl. Coincidence? I gotta have the Illuminati music ready to go whenever something like that happens for stream.
So Blizzard Guild, unfortunately, I would have loved to see a Nivea support, but unfortunately, no Nivea support found. But Blizzard Girl is an Alistar, Pantheon, and Maokai support player who is super, super aggressive and looking to make plays not only in lane, but as a main engage into mid to late team fights.
And next up, third pick here for the Wizards is none other than the leader of the 7 deadly sins himself, Meliodas, coming in as that third pick here.
Yeah, Meliodas, just coming off of not only his name, but it's just a lot of strong scaling picks and has a lot of champs to choose from. So there's no real pick or choose you can really find in Meliodas' kit that he can't bring in another pick to kind of integrate into their new team.
Yep, and apparently I'm getting a name change request from OG Shisha, aka Overcomer.
Okay.
I'm not too sure what he wants it to be, but he changed.
What do you have a guess?
He changed it to God Queen Soraka. Of course. Oh, of course.
I mean, fair. I mean, I would not say no to that. Personally, I mean, maybe it has to go through a couple avenues, but I think that's a wonderful change.
There we go. For my boy Overcomer, it's up there. Up next,
What a
though, because
homie.
it is not Hero 39 being picked again. That is not allowed to pick the same person. It's
What do you mean?
you can't have the same person on multiple teams, but you can have my brother's BF on the Gators because that's who they're gonna pick up as their third.
Man, I was really excited for two heroes. My brother BF is a Blitzcrank Nunu player, what I've seen, and he's typically a Blitzcrank main, but he does have other pocket picks up his sleeve, like Lulu and Brand, to really shake up the bot lane and maybe cross some pressure into some mid lane team fights with some polymorphs or even those Brand ultis. I believe they're called Cataclysm. Am I right? No, that's way different.
On the
Is it Polyclasm? Pyroclasm?
Pyroclasm sounds a little bit up the Brand alley. Yes.
Not Cataclysm.
You know what is exciting though, same page. The Nocturnals are about to lock in their entire team actually because they have 2 picks back to back here. So we are going to see a completed roster coming out very shortly. And the first one that we see come through. Oh, actually, both of these players I'm familiar with. So Moyushi and Buppin Cup are going to be the 2 final picks here for the Nocturnals. I had the pleasure of actually playing a couple games with Moyushi during our 6 Days of Legends over the Christmas break. So she's a super great player, lots of fun to play with, has a great pool of those Enchanter supports. So again, Ray, that again touches my heart because that's the similar stuff that I play as well.
Beautiful.
Too. And Paige, why don't you tell us about our boy Buppin Cup?
Buff in Cup. I've seen him so many times in my lifetime. He has, I think, a champion ocean. He can play a little bit of everything, and his diversity, in my opinion, though, even though Button Cup is an extraordinary player, sometimes that champion ocean can come at a cost. With something like a very, very strong 1-trick that you couldn't ban out or a 2-trick, he may have a rough time against, but it doesn't mean he's not a very consistent player, in my opinion.
And now we've got another pick coming through for the Gators as well too. Just trying to find them on our charts over here. But it's looking like it's a top laner. Yes, it is. Tectonics locked in as the Gators top laner. And that actually rounds out the Gators comp itself.
And for Tectonics, what I've seen is coming in, it was originally a mid player, but a lot of the mids that he picks, it can be a very, very, very easily switchable top lane, something like Victor and Malzahar, and he's been picking up something like Kennen, and a little bit of tanks like Ornn, and a little bit like Mordekaiser and Set as well.
So, Coming up next, the last pick here for the Wizards, and a great one indeed, too. I believe this player is on support. I want to say, if I'm... Yes. This player is a support player. Also one of our casters and streamers. Unfortunately, he's not able to join us this split in that side of things. He's a very busy man, and very soon we'll be calling this player Doctor at a Red Wheelbarrow. Very shortly. So best of luck to them. But we do get to see them at least once a week here, and they are picked up as the final pick, a Red Wheelbarrow. Oh, I love this player. This
Red Wheelbarrow is amazing.
This honestly lives rent free in my heart. This player right here. Absolutely love him.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And his Morgana is absolutely to adore as well. If you're on his team, he's very much of a Morgana player at heart, but not afraid again to play anything that he needs to make his team a successful team, and not only in casting but in gameplay itself.
Well, we're starting to see some of these team comps actually rounded out, because this last round of picks actually is going to finalize all these players. And I saw this player actually chatting a couple seconds ago, a little bit worried about what was going to happen, but no worry no more, my friend Given, because you have been picked up here by the Falcons. Given Diff.
Oh no, man. For yourself as included, while I get my notes situated, what do you know about this player?
Well, Given has actually been around for a long time here at Legends Esports.
Yes.
And what is surprising when most people meet Given is he's actually probably one of our youngest players, and to have that skill at his age is absolutely insane. If I would have figured out League of Legends at their age, I don't know where we would have been today. But this player is honestly incredible for coming in and showing this skill and showing up these players who might have been on this game for a lot longer. So this is absolutely awesome to see Given getting some recognition after all these years being here at Legends Esports.
I completely agree with you, and for some reason I'm having a hard time looking at him. But I will take your heart and soul and word for it. I've definitely seen him a couple times, and for the Given Diff especially coming his opportunity, especially in something like his hyper-aggressive style and something like Elise, and a little bit more of a sinning, but he can also bring out something like Evelyn, who can just hard carry the game, especially how young he is. He has so much potential and talent to escalate.
Absolutely. Up next, though, the Panthers' last pick to lock in is going to be Sugar Daddy Draven. Ooh.
Sugar Daddy Draven.
I wonder what position.
Exactly. I wish it was the AD carry role. He's for Sugar Daddy Draven. He loves to play his brother Darius. He's definitely a Darius player, and he's been playing a lot of set last season. But it doesn't within recent time, especially him in the top lane. He's been playing a lot of Sion, a lot of Maokai, and can play both a weak side with his tank potential, but also a strong side with something like a Camille, and then a little bit of Irelia as well.
Up next,
and
though,
some Draven.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Up next, though, we do have Ezio Killer 007 as the last pick here for the Crusaders. We are going to move along a little fast as I'm editing, but why don't you tell us a bit about Ezio there? A former player here in Legends Esports, has been around for a few splits here.
Definitely. He is a control mage player, at least in my opinion. Ezio plays a lot of control mages and looks to help the team by roaming and also making sure he is a menace in team fights.
Up next for the Sharks will be Dylan Caesar. I hope I'm saying that right. I apologize, Dylan, if I'm not. But the last and final pick here for the Sharks.
For Dylan Caesar, as an AD carry player, he is an MF Ashe, and he's definitely looking to support the team in the team fights with his strong and tactical ultimates. I think he's a little bit more of a Spellweaver type of player that's very much focusing on those key abilities to shut down specific players, or even start a huge team fight off with something like his bullet time.
And up next, the last pick here for the Eagles will be Prince Sky. I believe that is a support player. The last lock in here is that rounds out the Eagles.
And Prince Sky, in particular, is a Lux Yumi player, as what I can see, and provides a lot of shields and heals coming from the teammates to help secure objectives with the specific team plates. With a lot of Moonstone utilage, and able to pick up something like Soraka, Janna, something like that. So God Queen Soraka may have a Soraka, just a token from him, I should say.
Yeah, and I kind of like this, having that kind of like a heal utility kind of support on a team that is already looking so aggressive. That'll be nice to kind of
Sure.
level things out and make sure that when these players are going ham, that they have a little bit of backup there to make sure they survive in these, like we've seen with players like OG Shisha and his Soraka, something like that. So it'll be interesting to see where that one goes.
And especially with so many aggressive supports that are coming into LAS draft this season, it's going to be a very, very interesting way of how those healing and shielding supports kind of keep up with the aggression of the other supports coming in.
And as the final pick here for the Bandits will be Soulcar 8383. Now, where I believe that is going to be either the jungler, yes.
It's going to be, sorry?
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. He is a Warwick and Echo jungleman.
Ooh.
Of what I can see, and he has some tanky side picks with that as well, and he provides a lot of early game pressure with something like his Warwick. He likes to gank a little bit earlier than a lot of Warwick junglers would do, and his Echo is looking to translate his early leads that he typically wants to get into some type of utility and maybe high damage pressure into that later on game.
Well, we have our last pick for the Dragons coming up here will be Factual Furco. That's a little tongue twister. Have fun with that, casters.
Oh no. He is originally a top lane player, and he's transitioning to the jungle role, something that I actually did originally when I played with Ravensman, this particular, and DSG, as well as his earlier iterations of those teams for going into Legends. And it's nothing that I can really gather from his picks or from his playstyle, so he's very mysterious in that way. So I'm very excited to see what he can bring in for his future.
All right, and our last pick for the Guardians here will be SVRob4493. We can spell out a phone number with some of these names here, eh? Okay. So, SV Rob as the last pick there for the Guardians. And we have our final pick.
Might I describe it?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, sorry, my internet died for some reason in the middle of that. It's just so excited to see it.
It's just exciting.
But it's just so excited to see all these LAS draft picks. And for Robin specifically, he is an arming just like Charm, so there's going to be a little bit of a battle to see who kind of grabs their main champion. But nevertheless, if not to be rude to him, but he is the lowest rank in the draft, but he doesn't make it any worse for him, especially how strong he can potentially bring in some type of control pick like a Galio or even his Art, for example.
And that's very true. Lots of room for players to grow, and this is a great place to do it, as our final pick has come through of our LAS draft, and that's going to be Doki FTW for the win, saving the best for last there. And am so excited to see these players hop onto the Rift together and really make themselves known and make their names known, their organizations known. So really exciting stuff, guys. But that does actually round out the play. Same page, if you just want to give us quick information about Doki before we go to break. And then,
Sure.
Yeah.
Doki FTW is very much the most unorthodox player in this entire draft.
Oh, I like
Mostly known for their for taking summoner spells like Ignite and TP in the jungle instead of utilizing his flash, so you can set up really interesting and complex ganks into their side lanes while on the other side of the map. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he utilizes that.
Looking forward to see it. But guys, just once more over a look at our draft here. LAS draft has now been completed. So we are going to take a short break. And when we come back, we are going to be getting into the LRS draft. So guys, don't go anywhere. We're also going to be doing a raffle for tokens in between the games here. So make sure to stay tuned during the break for your chance to win 250 tokens, guys. We will see you very shortly back here as captains for the LRS are getting ready to line up their picks. Don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss this. Well, that's not the right scene. Welcome back, my friends, to the LAS and LRS draft night. We have concluded our LAS draft, and now we are going to be getting into the LRS draft. And yes, the stash is back, my friends. Don't you worry. Guys, what an incredible showing. It's insane to me to see all the names that we have up on our screen now, all these players here. So I just want to say best of luck to our LAS teams as they start their series this Monday night, this upcoming Monday, 8 p.m. EST, right here on Legends Esports GG. You'll be able to see some of those players. Take it away. But up next, like I said, we have our LRS draft. Those players are going to be starting next Tuesday, 8 p.m. EST. Well, actually, this upcoming Tuesday. Sometimes I muck those up. But that'll be starting this Tuesday, guys, at 8 p.m. And I'm actually going to be casting the LRS with my boy Shisha and sometimes Dream. So very much looking forward to that. Don't forget, guys, jerseys will be coming out soon. So make sure to keep an eye on our shop. You can check that out by using the command merch that I just put in chat for you. So make sure to keep an eye out there to pick up a jersey for your team. What else in news as well, too? I know there's something I'm forgetting here. I usually do. But I'm not going to hold this up too much longer because the draft is going to be starting very shortly. So let's hop on over to the draft sheet for the LRS. Alrighty, Paige, are you ready to go again?
Yes, sir. It's a little bit more of a concentrated group this time, especially in the LRS. A little bit less teams, but it doesn't mean there's going to be a less jam-packed action to this one.
No, not at all. From what I experienced last split, the LRS league had probably the spicier drama there in terms of what was happening when we got to playoffs. There was a lot of back and forth between some really, really great teams. So I'm excited to see something like that happen again. Plus, I'm actually going to be watching some of these players duke it out. But up on the docket first is going to be the Lions and their captain, Vordaddy, formerly in the LAS last split on that Lions squad. The champions from the fall split, and now moving his way up into the LRS, has drafted Obatala. I am so sorry for just butchering your name, but let's see where Obatala is first. That is actually a mid laner coming in for Vordaddy.
For Vordaddy, that's a very, very enticing pickup in the first pick. He is quantifiably a Echo main, and he likes to time travel his way back into the past, but it doesn't mean he has other brilliant picks like something like Victor, something like Caston, and that really likes to bring those heavy hit or late game one-shot mages into the game.
And up next for the Vipers, their captain, Asabi Spirit. I believe that is a new player coming into the Legends community. But who they are drafting is definitely not a fresh face here. They are a veteran. The name actually came up when the Dragons were doing the draft just a little while ago. But it is none other than the ADC, the big Jin himself, Juanito Sol, being picked up for the Vipers.
For Juanito, you already know a Jin main and Jin prodigy if you really want to push that a little bit further. But he's also been practicing other meta picks recently, something like Samira, Kaisa, MF, those really, really differential AD carries that can exchange and trade and change the team fight and how it's orchestrated.
And up next, we have our pick for the Unicorns. Their captain is Elated Potato. I like I said, same page. Some of these names are just absolutely phenomenal. So I'm really really happy to see all these names coming through. But speaking of names, this one might be a little bit tough to fit on the screen here because it's actually two names. It's two names. So I'm just gonna include the one. But Chio Buns, aka this this name. I'm so sorry. GKPBMY. I'm so sorry. I have no idea how to pronounce that name, but let's just call them G for now, being picked up for the Unicorns as the first pick. And that's another ADC being swiped up here tonight.
For Chiobuns in particular, what I can see is they've been practicing a lot, and I mean a lot of Twitch. Very, very, very strong Twitch player. Over 150 games of Twitch in total in the season of 2020. But he has some backups that can potentially be just as dangerous, especially in this meta. Something like Tristana with the Halo Blade setup, as well as something like the Ezreal, who has had a very, very, very interesting item layout, to say the least, especially in this season.
And up next from the Phantoms, their captain, ya boy Butters, is going to be picking up Gagibo. And I remember seeing this player coming through in the Tuesday night league there. Solid looking top laner as well too. And what kind of champions are we looking at here? Same page from Gagibo.
Like you said, he is very, very interesting for sure. Especially coming from him is an Akali. He plays Yorick, he plays Poppy, he plays Vladimir, he plays Fiora. Very, very, very well rounded in my opinion. And he's not only looking for something flashy like his Akali and Fiora, but he can also be that split push menace, especially in his Yorick, for example.
And we are going to be getting the Spartans pick up next, as their captain Ravensman has actually another veteran who's been around for a while and is still currently the highest kill holder on stream. He still carries that record, going taking 28 kills as Kha'Zix in a couple splits ago. So I'm curious to see if someone is still going to give him a run for his money and try and beat that on stream for us. But we'll have to see who he is going for first, because I'm not too sure if he's going to be the one on the ADC role. Because again, Ravensman is another really, really good Jhin player.
Definitely. He's been also.
That's where this first pick is coming through as well too. Another solid veteran. These two players have played together before. Can of Tin.
Okay, I mean, to be honest, is there really anything I can say more about Canatin? I think really he is much of arguably probably the best top laner, at least in LRS right now. He has some prominent showings of anywhere he's been placed in. But if you really want me to give you a little bit more insight, especially into his champ pool, just looking at it, he's played some nasty things like Jax, Mordekaiser, Renekton, Camille, Irelia, Fiora. If you want me to go down the list more, I can, but he can play a little bit of everything. But typically, he's a carry player through and through.
Absolutely. Canatin, well-known name, but a new one that we also got to see on Tuesday night. Coming in from the Tigers squad, their captain Freaks does have the double pick up right now, so we get to see two picks coming from them. First one
excited to see.
Is going to be Rouge Ronin, and their second will be Darwin Theory.
Okay, looking at Darwin Theory, a little bit mysterious, like you said. We've seen a little bit of his gameplay into the past years that we had not too long ago, but he is a transitioning player that was originally a support mid player, so I'm looking to see some very interesting picks coming into the top lane. And for Rouge Ronin, correct?
Yeah, Rouge Ronin.
Rouge Ronin is I would say an Echo, a Graves, a Hecarim player, very aggressive jungling style, very very head on, like we've seen a couple junglers from the LAS league. So I'm very interested in how he can kind of push his leads, especially early on.
Absolutely, looking forward to seeing how that double pickup is gonna treat the Tigers gang here. But up next for the Spartans is going to be K-Cools. And I believe that is a jungler coming in for them.
Jungler. For K-Cools in particular, another name
Uh-oh. I think your poor internet's
That-
betraying you there. We might have lost Same Page temporarily, but hopefully we get him back. There he is. Same Page is back with us.
Yeah. Apparently, apparently.
Oh, I hope his internet works soon for us, but I'll pull up the sheet for K-Cools right here while we're getting them back. But K-Cools, let's take a look at ADC player. No, a jungle player. So this is going to be interesting to see what this player is going to be whipping out, because from what I'm seeing, this might be a whole new role here for K-Cools.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My CPU, apparently my internet's fine, but my CPU's clocking me at 100, so I'll try to finish this as best as possible and figure out why my computer hates me right now.
That's terrible.
No, it's absolutely fantastic. But just going into K-Cools is looking at him, he's played a lot of different roles, and typically just an 80 carry player, and I don't really see any jungler games from him, but it does jungle games from him, but doesn't mean he isn't proficient at the role. But I can't really give you any information about him.
And next up, we do have another jungler coming in, a former player of the Falcons from the LRS Draft League last split. That's going to be Karthik 002.
Karthik 002 is definitely, in my opinion, a Zac main. Even though he's played support in something like solo queue, he's looking to impact a lot of other lanes, especially taking that unique perspective from a different position.
And you know what I've really seen from Karthik was the growth from this player from the beginning of the LRS draft split last season. The Falcons had a bit of a rough go there, but what I saw as an overall team and from Karthik, who was actually the captain of that squad, was just a lot of growth. So I'm really excited to follow this player again this split and see what kind of growth they have this season as well. But all that experience that they gained from the previous split, to see how they show up as one of the bigger names here. So very much looking forward to seeing Karthik in action. But next up, the second pick for the Unicorns, that's going to be a Taxon 2. And why, for some reason, that reminds me of... Yep, it totally is. It's something from my, because my background is in biology. So as soon as I saw that, I'm like, wait a minute. That sounds a little familiar. So... that is in the biology field, if we do have any bio folks out there right now. But, yes, where is a Taxon exactly on our list? That's a mid laner.
Mid laner. So, like you said, in biology, for him, he's very much of his, his precision and his surgical prowess, if you want me to use a little bit of terminology,
Love it.
of his Zed mid lane. He really enjoys his Zed mid lane, very much of assassin player in that essence, but he also likes to package a little bit of his precision with some type of control mage style, something like the Orianna, something like the Syndra, something like the Vel'Koz as well.
And up next for the Vipers is a massive veteran here, a phenomenal, I believe, support player. He is coming through for this split as well too. Has an extremely nasty thresh, none other than Pratoga being picked up for the Vipers.
Like you said, his main name is the Thresh. Hook Champions is his thing, and his Engage is the way to play. He's looking for how to be a menace in his lane and how to translate that lead into further down the game.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself, but we do get a double pick coming here from the Lions. So we are going to see a couple of big players that we got to see on Tuesday night, especially that ADC that is being picked up here. But the two names that we have up on the docket for the Lions right now is going to be Depressed Azir and Jackie, TES Jackie Love 10.
Let's start with Depressed Azir. He is originally a mid lane player, as you can tell by his name. He was an Azir player, but it doesn't mean he can't translate that to the top lane. Originally, he's been playing a little bit of Olaf and Renekton recently, which is a very, very aggressive style, and he's looking to look for those early game solo kills to really drive himself forward into with his machine. Now looking down back into Jackie maybe he can show his Jackie skills into the Legends Esports gameplay. The LRS with his Kai'Sa, his Vayne, and Samira are very, very prominent with him. But he does have a wide range of picks and playstyles, showing that he's a very flexible player.
Looks like we've got the next Vipers pick coming in here, and a solid top laner that we got to see actually on both the tail end of the LRS league last split, but also a part of the Tiger squad as the champions from the LAS premade. So Rover Eye coming through as the top laner for the Vipers.
Rover Eye, also, I think Rowan is a very much of a strong competitor. He isn't very much of a pop-off player, I may add, but it doesn't mean he isn't consistent. He plays Camille and he plays Kled very, very well, and he's known to have junglers to assist them in that acceleration with something like assisting him with a strong side top.
Yeah, all I can remember from Rover Eye is his Malphite that literally laughed in the face of turret damage and multiple enemy members as he just took no damage. So definitely a very, very strong top laner coming in. But next up for the Unicorns, their third pick of the night will be Stone Kit Kat. And I believe they are a top laner. Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Stone Kit Kat is, I think, known for their tanky picks and looking to provide a lot of utility for the team, like we've seen the names before: Shen, Ornn, Maokai, Malphite, some things that really assist the team to have an air to either protect the carries or either go in as the engage.
Next up, we've got our third pick for the Phantom squad. That's going to be Spencer, and I believe he is going to be filling in the support role for them. This is really nice, though, because from my recollection, Spencer and Karthik were on the same team. They were both on the Falcon squad last split. So again, this is smart from the captain of the Phantoms, your boy Butters, to be picking up these players that have that existing synergy already. So really, really, really smart move from the Phantoms captain on this one.
And with that synergy as well is coming with his Enchantress or Mace support playstyle, something like the Bard, the Yuumi, the Zyra, something that really can control the field and make sure to jump between teammates to assist them along into the game and making sure their team has at least a solid structure to play around.
Now, I must have got it wrong because I guess mixing up Rover Eye with another one. My bad there, Rover Eye. I thought, for some reason in my mind, I had him as the big Malphite in my head, but nonetheless, my apologies, Rover Eye. He still doesn't mean it wasn't nasty from what I remember from Rover Eye. He was just a ridiculous top laner. Anyways, we've got the Spartans' third pick coming up soon, so we're gonna get to see what is going along with Ravenman, Can of Tin, and K-Cools so far, as looking very exciting. And I wonder, I think Ravens Man is in the chat. If he could just let us know what position he's playing. I believe he's ADC, but I'll let him confirm that for us.
What do you mean? I think he's definitely a support player, as you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
As a big friend of him, he's definitely the support player in all situations, no matter what role he's actually playing. He might chew at me.
Somewhere out there, one of the 4 Ravensman accounts are screaming. At least one.
Yes, at least one.
Love you, Ravensman. Love you, buddy. But let's see what this pick is going to be. We have a few players still, quite a few players still left on the board, but top laners for the LRS League here. Top laners seem to be a hot commodity, as all of them are currently picked up at this point. We're still sitting on a few supports, a few mids, and then a couple, just a very small handful of ADCs and jungles at this point. So this one's going a lot faster here, guys. So again, thank you for all your patience tonight with the editing and all us getting all our ducks in order over here. But don't forget that we are doing some giveaways. So we're going to be doing one more raffle during the end, at the very end. So make sure to stick around for that. However, Spartans do have their pick locked in, and that is going to be Metro Dragneel.
For Metro Dragneel is a mid laner coming in for Ravensman there. And I would say he's more of an Akali player through and through, but he does have that very interesting Wukong mid pocket pick that you might see in a couple of games. He's a very, very aggressive player, and he's looking for those solo kills and really those kind of grind that gear and accelerate him to that 200 miles per hour mark through the early game and really finish off the game strong.
Looking forward to see it. But we, again, have a double pick here for the Tigers. So we are going to get to see the actual completion of their roster right now. So with that being said, the final picks for the Tigers are going to be Caramel and G. Dysik.
Coming over, we'll start with Caramel, who is what I've seen, a Misfortune Jhin player coming from OP.GG. And they want to have their lane presence known, as they're looking for some heavy CC, maybe some jungle coordination coming in, and maybe supportive with their support, which may be looking for more of an aggressive support style, especially that he, even though with the picks of Jhin and MF, he likes to be aggressive. And for the other one, if you don't mind me reminding me,
G. Dysik.
G. Dysik.
I believe they are I'm gonna get that up.
Thresh Lubataric. I apologize. I couldn't read my own hair. I could not read my own handwriting for some reason.
But tell us a bit about tell us a bit about G here. As
Why?
Why?
Hello, you lost me. Oh. No. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I think that Y was directed to your computer. But G. Dysik is a support player, solid Thresh that you said that they have here. But it's always nice to have, again, like you said, that anchor to a team. But speaking about anchors right now, we've got none other than the rap god himself, one of our casters, but also someone from the past split here. So now a veteran player. That's going to be none other than Awesome Sheep himself, being locked in here as the Spartans' final pick.
So I played with Sheep support a little bit, and it's another just legend in the community, for favor or for worse, depending on the person you're talking to. But even though he may not be originally a support player by heart, he's been really, really strong in those aggressive supports, something like Rail, Nautilus, Leona, and those really just engaged supports to look around the map to really push himself forward.
And as the final pick here for the Phantoms, that is going to be Reformed Iron Fang.
Another name with the word Reformed, you know he's going to be strong. Originally, I would say he doesn't have a lot of mid lane games already, but he plays a lot of Lucian, and that can be very transferable into a mid lane game. So I would say he would probably be a more affinity towards that aggressive style.
Absolutely. Next up, the final pick here for the Unicorns is going to be Power over Ethernet, and I really like this one because when I'm casting this player, I get to see PoE. So in this league, we have a PoE and we have a Jackie Love. Apparently, we got some big bucks over the break because we got like the big talent here now, same page.
Somebody's paying us well, apparently, with those very, very enjoyable names. Coming in for the jungle pick, he is a Volibear Olaf Kindred player. So he's a little bit more tanky besides the Kindred, but really looking for those early game lead.
Yeah, and I believe in the exhibition games this week, he had all he had his Kindred band every single time. So hopefully we'll actually get to see it at some point on stream. But the final pick here for the Vipers is going to be Pursuit of Death coming in.
For Pursuit of Death, he is a Annie player, definitely, and he loves those bursty control mages like Annie, Syndra, Oriana, and he can really find those solo kills within that level 6+ if you don't play safe around that.
And finally, for the Lions, they have selected JB Shishimi, their support player. And from what I've seen, because I've actually tuned into JB Shishimi's streams a couple times to watch the Nami games that she plays, and her Nami is actually like pretty insane. So exciting to see. Hopefully, one of my favorite champions busted out on stream. That would be really fun for me to cast. But really solid with the utility mage harass kind of supports, which again, up my lane for those kind of champions that I play as well too.
And I agree with you. Her Enchantress style gameplay is very, very much prominent in her style. But I've also seen a couple of engaged supports that she's been practicing a little bit. Maybe just throw a curveball at people.
Yeah, I'm seeing in chat here the Rel. The Rel is something too. So don't let me down there, JB Shishimi. Let's see some awesome supporting. But guys, this is it. This is your LRS draft completed, my friends. So now we have all our teams rounded out for the LAS and LRS draft. So guys, very exciting stuff. I'm so pumped for next week when these games actually start and we get to see these players. But we're going to flip it on back to the analyst desk for a second while we round things out, guys. Holy moly, Paige, what a night. What a night. What are we thinking? What teams are we looking out for?
That's really funny because I was right about to ask you the same question. I'm very, very interested. Let's start with the LRS in specific. We can look over at their at the teams here. Coming out, especially in something like in the Phantoms category, because I haven't seen any of those names in particular for myself, and I really want to see how they can kind of correlate and really start bringing the team up together. I'm excited to see something like Ravensman's team put together, essentially some old names like Canatin, some Sheep, some good legends in that. Some old guard, if you will. And I'm really interested just in general, just to see the new names really pop off and who will really pop off this year.
Absolutely. So yeah, in terms of looking at these squads in the LRS, I'm really excited to see this Lion squad here with Vordaddy and Jackie Love. Vordaddy is now just coming into the LRS, so I'm excited to see that kind of step up from the LAS. And from what I saw on Tuesday from Jackie Love, absolute mad lad. Like this guy Samir was insane to watch, so I'm really excited to see that one pop off. But we've got a lot of great teams here in the LAS with a lot of good talent spread across here. Spartans are looking really good as well too. Tigers is kind of a new team to me, but I did see Rouge and Darwin Theory play. They look like solid players, so I'm thinking that's going to be a great team too. Phantoms, you got synergy between Karthik and Spencer as well too, so that is fantastic call by the captain, your boy Butters, to make sure they've got that locked down. Vipers, we do have some insight. Pratoga, Juanito Soul, and Roverai, all players that we have seen before as well too. That means, you know, those buttons to your team, that top lane and your bot lane, that's pretty much covered in what you should be expecting. The only one that's kind of an unknown to me right now is the Unicorns, but I'm excited to see these players this upcoming Tuesday in the LRS draft. So let's bring it, guys. Let's bring that action to the stream. I'm excited to see you guys start playing.
I completely agree. Thank you.
Now, how about for the LAS? Who are we going to keep our eyes on for this season?
Man, I don't know. There's so many teams. There's so many different just powerhouses coming through. My computer is killing itself. I would definitely say, just from the names that I know in particular, I've seen how the Fly plays, Charm plays. I've seen some Dokis as well. So I'm very interested in seeing how Dallas can put that team together and really accelerate it forward. I would say, I don't know. I'm excited to see how Red Wheelbarrow really performs and how he can kind of bring his team together. I just don't know. There's just so many picks to really talk about.
I have three off the top of my head that come to mind. Just looking at this draft chart on my end here. First of all, you have a good chunk of the Bandit squad back together again. They were a very high-performing team from last split. And to have those members back again on the same squad and with under the same organization of the Bandits, that's just a huge plus for them. So I'm thinking they're going to be looking really, really solid, especially in the early weeks as they did last split. The next one up for me has got to be the Eagles. You know, you have essentially 3 out of 5 members of that pre-made team from Blue Milk put together. Very aggressive style. They picked up Juicy Chewy, who is also an aggressive jungler, and then a nice healing support, Prince Sky, to really kind of round that comp out to kind of put the buffer on that all that aggressiveness to essentially enable to unlock that to allow them to kind of go ham. But the pick for me, same page, is the fact that we see this Dragon squad essentially reformed here. I cannot believe that XLs was allowed to get away with this. I don't know who let him get away.
To be honest, I was purposely trying to ignore it just so you can hype it up, because I don't know like how he's able to get away with this. It's going to be a fantastic showing. Hopefully a fantastic showing from the Dragons, and I hope they can really show their performance in the game.
Yeah, really exciting stuff. So many great teams to watch, guys. But we're all going to have to wait until it unravels this split. And you know exactly where to catch all that action. It's right here at Legends Esports GG. Guys, that is going to conclude our night. So I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. For those of you who have stuck around for a little while longer, we are going to do one final giveaway. This time, we're doubling what we got. We're going to bump up the tokens to 500 Legends check-ins. So make sure you use the command raffle to enter in when it goes live, which it should be doing in a couple seconds right about now. You should see it pop up on the desk right here. And right here. Come on. There she is. That is the raffle up. Thank you, Flip Trick. I've been growing this out just for us here. But guys, appreciate you all. Looking forward to a wonderful split. Don't forget to check out our shop by using the command merch, because we got some lovely stuff over there right now. There is new merch coming with jerseys for the appropriate teams for this draft split. So guys, really looking forward to casting for you guys. I want to thank Same Page for helping me out on the desk tonight. Buddy, hope you're excited for all this.
I am very excited to see, and maybe I can put a little bit more time and effort to really emphasize the players that are coming into both the LRS and the LAS draft. I'm super excited to see new faces, new showings, and who can step up the line to be the best.
As am I. Well, we're going to close things out, guys, so thank you again for tuning in. Don't forget, if you haven't already, make sure to toss us a follow so you can be a part of our token system as well too. But I want to thank all the new followers that we got tonight, and as well, we got a ton of subs tonight. So thank you to all our new subscribers and our returning subscribers as well too, guys. Appreciate you all. Love your faces. I will see you very soon. So don't you worry, I'll be back. But it's going to be a great split, guys. I'm looking forward to it. Have a wonderful night.
I saw you smile from across the bar. Yeah, she was pretty and so close but so far. She flipped her hair and I thought this can't be true. How does a man like me get someone like you? And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies. Just like that, you're coming closer to me. Come shake me, grab me, so I wake up from this dream. I can't breathe, come at me, I don't know if I can speak. Then she said, come with me and let's be free. The night is young and I think this could go far. The sky is dark but you're my shooting star. Could see your face reflect upon the moon. It was a pretty summer night in June. And then she looked at me and I was confused. Everyone here can't be the one that she'll choose. And I looked back and saw the spark in her eyes. This can't be real, my head's telling me lies.